I got to lean in.
Honey, is everybody okay?
What up? What up?
Oh
Hey.
my gosh. Hello, you guys. Thank you
Hey
guys for waiting
everyone.
those little 7 minutes, honey. Don't be in here talking crazy. Now, um, thank you guys for letting me in. We're going to talk about merited medicine today. We have the core 3 or the 2 or the 1, however you want to do it today. How are you doing, Antonio?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How you doing, Jasmine?
You know, I love you. So I'm just great. I'm just glad to see you. That's all. So that's it. That's all I'm okay about. Not just kidding. But I'm glad you're okay. Dream, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Feeling blessed. How are you?
I'm all right, honey. Just let's go ahead and slide up in here. Um, Everybody in the comments, again, I want to thank you guys for leaning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do want to ask you guys to put in from a score from 1 to 10. How did we rate this week's episode? So I asked you guys that and give a little explanation about it real quick. Antonio?
I think this week's episode, I'm gonna give it a good solid 8.
Ooh.
I think it had potential. I think the episode, the foundation was strong, but I still, to me, feel like it fell a little short in some areas, and I just didn't like how some of the situations or some of the scenes actually went. So.
Okay. I mean, I think it's in the comments. It's real spread out. You got 1 from your bestie, and then we got all the way to 9. So I think that's really like crazy that you're not crazy, but I think that's really like cool that it's different for everybody. So Dream.
I give this episode a 7. I kind of feel like this was not too much happened on this episode. But I do understand that they have some filler episodes to set up everything. But I give it a 7
Okay, so this was a filler for you guys. Was this
for
a
me.
filler?
To me, it wasn't necessarily a filler, but I just think some of the moments I feel that were supposed to be moments, they ended up not being that much of a moment. So,
No. Okay. Well, I think it was a 4. So that's not. I'm just kidding. I mean, it was okay. We're gonna get into it. Thank God, you got we got the other 2 people out today, Chase and Sammy. Oh, how we are sad about that. So moving on. Starting with the first scene, pretty of the episode, we got the OGs. Now they're classifying themselves as the OGs, and they're meeting up. And Toya said they haven't met up in a long time together, which I feel like that's pretty spot on. Just from the season 1 to now, I do feel like they haven't met up in a long time. Toya says she's talking to them and wants to get the girls to Napa. And Toya has her new wine club thing going on. I'm very proud of her, and I'm thinking that that's a lane that she's good in. She says that she doesn't make sense for Quad to come because 1, it's a business meeting, and 2, at the resurrection after Quad begged. Oh, I mean after Quad. Gosh, did I put beg? Okay. I mean, that Quad didn't hold herself accountable, excuse me, for anything, and begged to come back. Simone agrees that Quad said she forgives them from harming her, but doesn't acknowledge, as far as Quad acknowledging her contribution to the, dismantle of the group or whatever.
Yeah.
Also tells Toya that she doesn't understand the falling out between the 2. And Toya says that after reflecting on the relationship from the beginning, she feels like that Quad always makes jokes and always does things at the expense of her. Now, real quick, I want to ask you guys, do y'all agree with that? I know Dream that you just started watching it a couple weeks ago, right? Did you binged it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I feel like your perspective would be a little bit different for somebody that watched it all 10 years, I guess. So what is your perspective on that? Do you think, as far as Toya and Quad's relationship, that it is one-sided as far as just like at the expense of Toya?
I feel like whenever Toya and Quad have their disagreements, Toya takes ownership and accountability for what she does whenever she actually apologizes. Toya is like, from what I've seen, Toya is very big on being a good friend, and she wants to make sure that everything's always genuine. I feel like when it comes to Quad's end, she doesn't take responsibility. She always just wants the other person to own up to what they did and gloss over what she did to the other person. That's my opinion.
Antonio?
I think. I mean, seen moments where, Toya has kind of, she shaded Quad as well. We won't forget the BS apartment, I, I'm Toya did mention something about her, sleeping with a contractor. Maybe it was Simone brought it up and Toya added onto it. So there have been things that Toya have done, has said about Quad before as well. I just think that Quad kind of took it a step further, and you actually accuse the girl of, some criminal activity. I think to where that kind of crosses the line with us, when it's, just shade, and now you really trying to like put me under. But yeah, they both said some things about each other. I don't necessarily know if Toya has taken full accountability. I can't really remember. Maybe she has. I don't know. Because I really don't remember the conversation. I do remember them getting into it about like the BS apartment, and but I don't remember what Toya said. Like if she apologized or what. I'm not sure. Oh, she did. Okay.
Well, Bravo pulled the receipts. And they rolled the mother back, and they said, "Cancel this mother." Anyway, now I do think that she has held accountability, and I do think it started well before the BS apartment. It started when Quad brought those noodles to her when they was in prison. It started then, and it started. Every time it's like a little joke. It's always like she said to her expense, and I do think it has been tit for tat ever since then. But for Quad to kind of stand there and be like, it's just like a problem with Toya. It's just kind of like. It's weird.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But thank you guys for your, opinion on that. Heavenly, Toya asked the group where they stand with Quad. Heavenly says that she still loves the girl. She feels like she's a sister. But she does feel like, the group is right as far as just like wanting her to hold accountability. And she's starting to say that she feels like she's kind of used by Quad as well. Jackie and Simone. Toya does ask Jackie and Simone to kind of stop being bitches, say have a backbone, stand up into it, stand on business or whatever, because y'all know I say that. And that heavily suggests that Phaedra brings Quad to the trip. So I know we discussed in between time, but does anybody have any other comments about that big scene with the core 4 OGs?
Well, it's crazy that there was to me that there was a core 4 meeting and Quad wasn't there. Heavenly is not an OG as far as being around from the very beginning. She may have been in the background on the first season, but she wasn't a cast member. Right. So she's not an original. She may be a legend now or a star or one of the stars, but she's not an original. So that was kind of odd to me. I felt like if they were going to kind of have, I guess, a meeting with the ladies that have been around Quad for the most, I can understand Phaedra not being there. I understand Dr. Alicia not being there. I even understand Letitia not being there. Yeah. But I think that Quad, maybe that's what they needed was something without, like they're producing something for the show and they needed just a real sit down with Quad, because that resurrection thing was a mess. So I think that's kind of what they needed, not try to get sound bites and stuff like that just for being on the show and it being drama, but to really have a legit sit down with Quad. Right. So I think it would have been beneficial if she was actually there.
Okay. Right.
Dream. I feel the same, where they had the conversation prior to just inviting her to where'd they go? Napa Valley. Yeah. Uh-huh. I feel like they should have had a conversation prior to just inviting her. Or who, I don't even know if she got invited at this point, but
sorry. Oh, that was it?
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, I was just asking because, I just feel like, that all this is just a lot of hot air and a lot of hubbub. Like, y'all don't want that woman there. For what? For what? She has not been around. She does not call you honey. She's in the sister circle. So let her stay in the sister circle. But that's just my opinion. Now, Jackie, I felt like in that moment that Jackie was like, so you're inviting her. I just feel like I just don't know where Jackie stands when it comes to, I feel like I know that she doesn't really like Quad, but it was instances like that, I'm like, okay, so is she trying to like really do this? But after, did you guys look at Heavenly's live or interview with Carlos King?
I seen bits of it. I didn't watch it, but I did see pieces of it. Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, if these people knew that she said these things beforehand, were they all just being BS? You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know in the comments, honey. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And that's another thing. But another thing also, Jasmine and Dream, that's weird to me is that this is episode 6. So the first, 4 or 5 episodes, Quad was going live with Heavenly and Phaedra and Jackie. So you mean to tell me that you guys felt so... It's an odd setup of some sort. Not saying that they just set Quad up, but there's something that's going on. Because now I'm like, did she film more? Because she even said this episode and one more episode, she won't really appear in the show anymore. I'm like, but did she still film other episodes and they're just going to cut her out? Were the other cast members not really privy to that until recently? Or what? Because early on, Heavenly was talking about how she wanted Quad to go in on Letitia, how Quad gonna drag Letitia, and it's very odd.
Something's missing.
Well, Heavenly is a loser. She's a liar. So like that's just how I don't believe nothing that I believe her when she says certain things, but just how she just vomits out information, it is what it is. Whether it be truth or not, you're disgusting to me. So that's how I feel. Please. It's my square.
Your square.
That's my square. So moving on, this scene was dedicated to the kids of Married to Medicine. I thought this was so cute. Honey, Alora comes in with her looking freak, like she's got frostbite. She's real cold and underneath her blanket. You know what I'm saying? And Heavenly, she's still talking about Clark and Letter. She's still talking about Spellman. She's still talking about Joe. Honey, Alora done got into FAMU. She's gone. Alora done got into FAMU. She's gone. She done flipped that thing up and had her thing to the side. Honey, giving Tony Braxton. It was a lot. It was draped. It was draped. I said, okay, sister, yeah. But I thought that Heavenly's response was sweet. Those are the moments that I do like Heavenly. That was a sweet response. And I thought it was very cute that she wanted to major in biology as well. It's just, Heavenly got kids. And I guess they look up to her. You know what I'm saying? I guess that is just what happens. She's not she has her own reputation and she's done things her own right. And I won't take that. I would never take that away from her.
Exactly.
So I was proud of Alora and I'm glad she made the decision to go out of state. And I hope she's having fun at FAMU, honey, where the grades are at. So where the grades are at in Florida. But moving on to the other scene that's involving the kids, we got Simone, Cecil, and the Miles and Michael. They're going to look at
Hello, who is it? Oh.
They're going to look at investment properties. So Simone says that she was already planning on purchasing investment properties that year. And said that she was already, thought it would be the best idea to let the boys move in. She gave Miles a year of free rent. Honey, please. Can Simone be? Hey, I'm sorry. I know my mom's gone, but I'm just saying, can Simone be something to me? Because she's giving him a year of free rent and then giving the younger one, Michael, 2 years of free rent. And after that, they have to move out or pay the rent as she sees fit. So I know we had this conversation a couple of weeks back. I don't think I think you might have been here, Antonio, about coddling the kids and, not having these type of resources. Like, I don't know nothing about not paying 2 years worth of rent. I just don't know nothing about it. Maybe. I wish I knew something about it, but I just don't know nothing about that. So I thought this was a cute, little 2 scenes, a compilation of the kids. We've been seeing them for 10 years. It's really great. And we got a super chat from SD Mac. From season 1, Quad and Mariah used Toya as a punching bag. All right. Thank you for that.
Literally.
Thank you so much for that. But yes, I want to get you guys' opinion on those scenes with the kids. Dream, what you have?
I think that the scene with Laura was adorable. When she pulled that blanket off and she was like, I screamed. I'm so happy for her. It's cute to see them grow up on camera. We've seen her when she was a little girl. She's always had a lot of personality, so it's cool to see her grow up and become a young woman and go off to college. As far as the boys, I knew Simone was going to give them an apartment. She was talking all that hot stuff in the last episode about no. I knew she was gonna budge, but I would too if I had it. Honestly, like if I had it and I had some kids and like I'm able to do that, I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. But
I ain't budging shit. Get your no, just kidding.
So I thought that it was nice of Simone and Cecil to also put it in a way that they're not just giving them an apartment, but it's an investment so that they can also have some type of learning experience throughout the process. So I think that Simone, Cecil, and Heavenly should all be proud of themselves because their kids are. Ooh, I spoke too soon. Wait a minute. Let's cancel out. What's Simone's oldest kid? I think. Right. Let's move him to the side. I think that Alora and the other one are doing so good.
No. Okay. So.
Damn. Breathe.
What?
You just gonna remove them?
Let's move on. She said the
Simone said it too. I mean,
that's so square. Antonio, what you say?
Funny. So listen, it was really good. I'm glad Alora stuck to her guns, and she wanted to go to FAMU, and that's where she's going. She got the lashes, she got the wigs and the baby hair. She is ready to go. She even got the the way she talks is real city girl.
Oh, sorry.
So she finna go to Florida. She gonna turn that thing out. Her and Grace, because Grace from Potomac, Giselle's daughter, she wanted a rapper. So
as soon as she get that foundation matching, hey, Grace gonna be saved.
Grace gonna be like, bend that Zoba, let that breathe.
My bad.
Okay, for real. So that was a good scene. Heavenly, you could tell she was really proud. One thing I do like about these women on these shows, as much as we kind of rag on them and sometimes go in on them, we can't take away of how much they love their children and how they want their children to be successful, no matter what type of persona they may have on the actual show. Simone and Cecil getting their boys the condo or the apartment. She talks a big game, but I also feel like she wants them to be, successful as possible. So she's doing all that she can to make sure that they have the tools to be successful going forward. Now, Dream, I do understand why you kind of removed the oldest one. I don't know, the oldest M from that, because he is, mid-20s now, and he's still kind of figuring it out. And I get it that he's still young, but he seems a lot more, to me, mentally immature than what maybe he should be at 25, So I hope that they kind of pull it together. And because Simone, she doesn't seem like she's playing in regards to y'all gonna have to get out. She probably will let them come back home, but the rules will probably be so strict at the house that they wouldn't want to be there. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out for them. But either way, proud of him. The youngest one, he went ahead and went to school, did what he needed to do, and he got on back to Atlanta. He was tired of being out there in the country. So go ahead.
Never mind. It's none of my kids. I don't care. I do not care. I honestly don't care. Congratulations to them all. Hope everybody gets a degree. Alora, turn up and turn down. Don't do it. Don't pet that dog. Don't pet that dog. Okay? Don't pet that dog.
Rub it.
You will not. Anyway, sorry about that. We have SD Mac. Thank you so much, honey. You spending money on me, honey. Hold on. Hey. Do I need that? Hey. Emily said Quad-caucus. What the hell? Okay, Quad was refusing to film. That's why they had that scene. And I couldn't believe it. Because I don't know. Hey. Maybe Sammy can tell y'all next week what he feels about that. But I just think that Quad is a Taurus, and I'm a Taurus too. We're full of shit. That's it. That's it. So, next scene. Thank you guys. Next scene. Real quick, did we know what a powder keg was before?
I kind of figured it was something to do with gunpowder, but yeah.
I mean, I feel like I've heard like my great aunt like Agnes say this, like say it before, but I ain't never heard it like somebody in that age say that. Oh, Sammy, he's giving his $4.99. Toya felt superior to Quad based on the BS fed to her by Quad's bestie, Malaya. She was at her from the gate and never healed from Quad's success. So we didn't know what a powder keg was. And no, thank you, Sammy, for the $4.99, honey. Call in. The link will be in the bio soon. I mean, in the chat soon. But we didn't know what a powder keg was. Eugene is proud of Toya. And it was great to see this kind of like circle moment for them starting in the red and having back to black parties and kind of getting that back and forth from people talking about their finances. And it's kind of like good to see them not have to worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like really just being like a nice couple, because I like Eugene and I love Toya. So I thought this was a cute scene and I thought it was good. But Eugene also doesn't think that Quad should be going. So, you know, he gave his opinion on that. Dream, anybody got anything to say?
I agree with Eugene on telling her the truth, which she kind of started off with saying at the meeting. She said that she didn't want to invite Quad. She didn't know why, like she should. And then at the end of the meeting, she flipped and was like, I'm going to invite her. I felt like she should have went with her first mind. If it's her business meeting, the way that she's portraying it to be, and if you really don't want drama, why would you invite someone that you would probably potentially have a huge blow up with? So I can understand why Eugene, her husband's telling her the truth, even though those ladies didn't really do what I felt like they should have did. But I thought it was a cute scene.
From what I've heard in regards to those and these trips, like everybody is invited because I'm sure Toya production paid for that trip, you know, even though Toya was the one hosting it. So everyone has to get an invite. Now it's up to them, I think, to accept the invite or something like that. But she invited her because at that time Quad was still part of the cast. So it made sense for them all to be there if she's a part of the cast. That was I didn't get that whole I don't know why she's coming, but also okay then Toya, well, why are you inviting Heavenly? Y'all ain't friends.
Right.
Why are you inviting Jackie? Y'all ain't friends.
Right. Well, I mean, that, you know, they friends. They friends enough. Oh, well, okay, that's your square. That's your square. I'm sorry. I feel like if you didn't have a room for her for real, I don't like that. You know, don't invite me somewhere you ain't got a room for me, baby. Please don't do that. Don't do that. And I don't like that. You know, I know she offered to pay for her own room, like as far as Quad, but I ain't like that. I don't, you know. So that was good. The next scene, I do want to ask you guys in the chats and you guys here on the panel, how do we feel about Alicia? Wow, why did everybody start laughing? So I'll go first. I like her because she's that green. She's not like that sweet tea green, but she's like green in her like sweetness. Like that shirt was lame. I don't use the B word, but you know, hey, we do, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think she's sweet. I think I'm glad that we're getting to see her more because I think Danny might have said in the in the group chat that she looks like Aunt Viv, the dark skin Aunt Viv.
Oh, okay.
And I never know, like, I'm glad to see her more, and I agree. I think she's really pretty. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's
beautiful.
She's beautiful.
She is beautiful beautiful gowns. That's
a lot of energy. But yeah. Jim, how are you feeling about her?
I think that the one scene that I did notice her on was when she jumped on top of the table reenacting Sweet Tea, and I thought that was a cackle. Other than that, I haven't noticed her, and I literally wrote down, who is Alicia? Bravo, Andy, Mariah, somebody let me know who is Alicia, because we haven't had any scenes with her. Yeah. But from what I have seen, that little one moment, I think that she'd be cool.
Whoa. Who knew that Alicia was getting all this backlash? Like, who's Alicia? Y'all know who Alicia is with your black
she was on the last.
She's a doctor.
She's a doctor's wife? No,
she's a doctor.
She's a doctor. She's a dentist.
She's a dentist. Okay, so
she's a doctor. Her husband's. Wait a minute.
She's a dentist.
Oh, they both dentists.
They both dentists. Okay, somebody let us know because we don't. I like Alicia, but I wasn't looking that hard. She's
pretty. That's all I got right now.
I think it's not a beauty pageant. So
I think we'll get to see more of her personality once she's kind of enthralled in a little bit of mess or shade.
Yes. Yes. Well, she seems sweet, honey. You know, don't take the innocence so fast, Lord. I like her. The girls are riding to the hotel, and Sweetie says that this is her first time in California. Simone said that, you know, they've experienced a lot of firsts with her, you know, getting married in California. Heavenly, of course, pushes her stuff in. It's like, I wish that I could have been able to celebrate with you at your wedding. And, and then she's like, no, you didn't mean to celebrate with me because your motherfucker haven't talking about, you know, how, you know, everybody was talking crazy. Heavenly said that she meant what she said, and that her man is 55, 60 years old, and it ain't gonna never work because what he gonna do with a little girl? And she was like, honey, how you know I'm not no little girl? Da, da, da. So that was my interpretation of it. So
Okay.
everybody else might have saw something different. So I don't know. That gets argued. Of course, Heavenly, you know, immediately apologizes for shit she's gonna do the next day. So she apologized. She was like, if I did something to hurt you or made you feel a certain type of way, I apologize. And Sweetie says, that's fine, honey. I just be there for me, but I won't confide in you no more. So
no more or no more?
No more, honey. No more. Now, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna move on to another scene before we discuss. So the villas, I thought they were cute. You know, in Napa, I thought, you know, it was different from what I would have thought, but it still was nice. Toya and Simone are sharing a suite. Jack and Hilary are sharing a suite, which leaves Phaedra and Alicia in rooms by themselves. Toya lets the group know that she forgot a room for Quad because she didn't know if she was going to invite her or not. Proceeds to ask the other ladies if they mind sharing a room. They all mind. Every last one of them mind. So Simone has the bright idea to make the newbie share with Quad. And of course, she didn't want to start any drama because she doesn't use the B word. So she says yes. So the car ride, going to Napa, getting there, making the newbie who doesn't use the B word take Quad in, like the stray she is. Dream, did you have anything you wanted to add with that first?
Excuse me. I feel like Heavenly talks to Sweet Tea like she's her daughter. Like how I feel like your mom would talk to you if you're dating an older man, like just tell you straight up, that's an old man. What are you doing? Da, 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 da. I feel like Heavenly's talking to Sweet Tea like that's her child, and it's not. But again, Sweet Tea kind of allowed it to go on for a certain point, and I feel like that's probably why Heavenly feels so comfortable with talking to her like that, little girling her.
Little girl.
As far as Toya not getting Quad a room, I did not like that. You knew that she was gonna get invited. She was gonna come. Why would you not get her a room? And you want her to come and be positive and be nice and genuine and apologize and whatever, but you're already setting her up for failure. If that's all I can say right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought in regards to the car ride, it was interesting to me that, you know, Toya had just made this speech when she was with the Core Four stating, oh, you know, I want us to be seen in a different light and pretty much like no drama, so on and so forth. And the first person with they big wide mouth to start drama was Heavenly. And I hate the apology of if I did anything to hurt you. You know, you said some foul mess about the girl and her, you know, potential husband, wedding, etc. Just say, hey, I know I said X, Y, and Z. I apologize for that because I know it made you feel a certain way. Don't give me if I said something, you know what you said. So that was odd to me that they even started up and they just had this core for meeting. They was going to be all pulled up and buttoned up and they was going to be professional, so on and so forth. But we see who started it first. Getting to the villas. The villas were really nice. Have y'all ever been to San Francisco? No, it's on my list. I haven't been to San Francisco either.
So don't call us broke like this online. Like
no, it's on my U.S. bucket list though. I haven't been to San Francisco. But the villas were nice, and I agree with Dream. As it relates to you want Quad to come, you want her to be positive, and you want, you know, you don't want things to pop off, but then you didn't get her a room. So to me, you're already trying to set up this situation to have her put in, you know, a place of where she now has to is going to be an argument and y'all going to end up back and forth. And the blame is going to be put on Quad. And not saying we know Quad has done some messed up stuff, right, but go ahead and get the room. You weren't paying for it. Production was paying for it. Go ahead and get the room. If she don't show up, then just cancel it. That's it.
Cancel it.
Cancel that.
Well, I agree with you guys because I just, no matter how much I can't stand whoever, whatever, I mean, I always have somebody a place to lay their head. Like, I just don't like that part. We're all, not we're all, but they're all out. Sorry.
One, I'm sorry, Jasmine. One other thing, I also do not like how they put Dr. Alicia on the spot and made her kind of like almost like a little. They didn't bully her, but it was like, you the new person. She should stay with you. No, Quad is an OG. She should have had her own room.
Yeah.
And Alicia should not have been put on the spot like that. So I was kind of side-eyeing Simone in that moment. I ain't like that mess.
Yeah. I mean, they, just like somebody in the comments said just a few minutes ago, like they've been little girl and sunning Sweet Tea all season. They've been trying to do it, and she stand up. I don't care how country bumpkin her lip. I don't give a. She gonna stand up now. She gonna stand up. That ain't me.
No more.
I know. Listen, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? She remind me. Did y'all watch King of the Hill? Oh gosh. Let me stop.
Oh no.
Let me stop. Stop.
Keep going.
Because I'm in my congenial era and I'm not doing this. So I've been doing well in that era as well. Anyway, but no, I do agree that they've been trying to like little girls, some girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I believe in a little haze every now and again, but I mean, y'all are 50-something years old. Hazing is out the window. Honey, just, that's too much for me. But I still like Alicia. And I think that her saying yes in the moment was better for her, because if she would, like, it was already having there too much going on. And I feel like just saying yes, But yeah, so y'all do know the person from King of the Hill. I hate to go back on this, but I hate to double back. But that motherfucker that be like mumbling. Can't nobody understand that motherfucker but fucking what's his name? Gosh.
Jazz, move on.
I'm sorry. Oh, I started to cackle. My bad. But anyway, so we see Quad. We see Quad riding up, you know what I'm saying? She seems like she's in high spirits, and she pulls up. Hold on. Oh, she pulls up, Sweet Tea opens the door, and I just thought it was so funny. I don't know if y'all saw this, but I thought it was so funny that Toya was like, you didn't have to bring your bags in. Like, it was just like she just came in. I was just like, Toya is being such a D, But I just found that that's so funny. So, they're sitting down. Toya says that she didn't know that she was gonna come, in, and Quad says, yeah, I have to, boo. And Quad asks where her room is, and she was like, we didn't really have a room for you, so we were screaming. She was like, well, I could pay for my own room. It's no big deal. I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. And Simone's like, they're having this little passive aggressive back and forth moment. And basically, she's like, Toya's like, yeah, here's your room. And Quad's like, well, is this down in the basement? Did you put me over there by the grapes and the wine and the vineyards? Like, giving dynasty with her shoulder pads. And Simone says, do you think that she would do that? And that's when Quad was like, I'm shocked because the static was coming from Toya at the resurrection, and she's kind of wondering where everybody's kind of giving her a little static from, as well. Quad leaves, and Toya told Simone not to be a punk. Like what I've been getting these little side conversations with Toya and Simone, and Toya, Simone, and Jackie is like she's telling them to say what they are saying to her to Quad. To Quad, you know what I'm saying? Like, not necessarily talking behind her back, but all your grievances can't keep coming from Toya's mouth. And I'm starting to feel like Toya's tired of being the mouthpiece for a bunch of grown women. Phaedra and Jackie show up. Toya asks Phaedra right then and there, like, why you didn't ride with Phaedra, and fly in with Phaedra. Phaedra's like, oh, my son's birthday was the day before yesterday, and I thought it was late. She has her excuses, and Toya said in a flash clip that that Phaedra called her and apologized for bringing Quad around, because she's like, every time I bring her around, she's causing some drama. So she apologized for that. So all that's kind of coming together for us to see as the audience, and for us to kind of make our own, evaluation, point of view of what we feel is going on. Antonio, do you have anything to say?
even with this, I think when Quad showed up, I do think that Quad came in to try to be light, or Quad is just an extra person, so I think she came in to be light. But as soon as she walked in the door, it's like, you don't have to bring my bags. Well, I was supposed to leave them rolling down the sidewalk out there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like I brought in 14 bags. It's one pool bag that I can leave right here by the door. So it was that. Then it was, oh, we didn't have a room for you, and we asked other people. Jackie said no. Phaedra said no. Like, what was the reason for that? I feel like they were trying to get something out of Quad from the very beginning. They wanted to be like oh, I knew you was coming to argue, but not realizing that y'all are the one, trying to throw gasoline on this already burning fire. And she didn't take the bait. She did. I felt like when she was saying it about with the room being in the basement or wherever it was, to me I thought she was trying to be funny or crack jokes. I didn't feel like she was trying to be nasty or anything like that. I felt like that was her way of trying to make the situation more light, but it did fall flat because Toya does not like her in this, in this moment. Right. With the scene with, Phaedra is, been 7 years since we seen her on TV, and she is still just as full of as she was when we seen her on the Housewives of Atlanta season 9 reunion when it came out that she had started that lie. She is still full of shit. I do like her, but in that moment she's still the same Phaedra. Like nothing has changed other than her wigs.
They look good now.
Sometimes. So for her to kind of come up with it was like, and we was on panel. It was a couple of shows ago, maybe, or something like that. And it was, or maybe I wasn't even here. Maybe I was watching. But anyway, we were, if the discussion was about Phaedra and Quad's relationship, and I was like, I don't really, it was said they don't really see that relationship lasting. I just didn't know it was going to be that quick before it kind of, before it was cut off. I guess Phaedra in her mind is looking at now, okay, I got to save my butt. And then the flashback of Phaedra telling Toya, yeah, I'm sorry because every time I, bring her around, it's a mess with her. And I'm like, well, no, Phaedra, because Quad didn't know anything about Sweet Tea's bridal party, lingerie party, or whatever. Y'all was sitting in that house, and you said, "Oh, the girls keep asking about you. They having her a pamper party. You should go. That's the moment." So it was like you can't try. And I get it. You got to save your own butt or whatever, but don't in the process of saving your own butt still throw her under the bus when it hasn't been her 100% of the time.
Thank you so much. You know what? I keep laughing about the King of the Hill thing, and I am so sorry. Like I am dying. Like I am holding this in so bad, it's killing me. Dream, do you have anything?
I think that Toya wanted to start off on the bad foot, saying that she didn't have to bring her luggage in. If I were Quiet, I would have already started cutting up because she did not have to say that off. But it was funny, I can't lie. I do want to separate Simone and Toya, though, in this scene, because I feel like Toya was coming at Quad because she did not need to let her know all that extra information about the rooms. She wasn't inviting. It's her trip, but she wasn't being inviting. And I hate when people host a trip and you're not being inviting towards the people that you invited. But there's neither here nor there. As far as Simone, not Simone, Toya low-key kind of tried to check Simone on like, well, how come you're not like coming with the oomph? Like you're just being passive. And Simone's kind of like, there's a time and place. Right now we need to be cool to get her in a certain mindset to be able to be open with us and have a conversation so we can reach her, yada yada yada, right? Simone's really good with time and place, I feel, except for that moment with her and Cecil in the parking lot. So I agree with her in this moment.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Yeah, I agree with Dream. I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Sean, why would you bring that up? And I just told you I wasn't trying to why would you do this? Okay. But yes. Everybody's going to dinner and everybody looks great. Jackie says she's let the girls know that, honey, that she is speaking with the VP Kamala Harris, honey, about Black maternity mortality. which we need, advocate for yourselves, honey. If you got any pregnant people here, advocate for yourself, honey. Get 3rd, 2nd, 4th, 15th, 17th opinion if that's what you need, honey. And I'm proud of Dr. Jackie. So that kind of goes into, again, if you watch Dr. Heavenly's thing with Carlos, she said that, that Quad might have mentioned that she needs to get paid more than Jackie because she's the show or she brings more to the table. But Heavenly said that Jackie is the medicine in American medicine. And these like that show. And I do think that Simone is as well. I think the women that are actually doctors on the show have brought in who was that? Did they bring in? Was that Al Sharpton?
Al Sharpton, yeah.
They brought in Al Sharpton a couple of seasons ago. They're she's talking to Kamala Harris. Yes, they're sorors. Jackie's a member of Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I'm so sorry about that. And I'm proud of her. I do think that's a great feat. I think I heard somebody else ski-wee at the table though. I thought I heard her do it, then I heard somebody else do it in the background. I was thinking maybe it was Alicia. But
I'm gonna have to look at her social media.
I'm gonna have to lock at it too because I think I was like, oh, Dr. Jackie ain't fighting nobody about no ski-wees though. But it's okay. And after that, Phaedra shows up, then Quad. Phaedra says, Quad says that she's proud of Toya, no matter what the issues that they're having right now. She says she's truly proud of you. I'm truly proud of you. Thank you. No matter what our issues are personally, I am truly proud of you. Because she turns into somebody from Bridgerton every time she wants to start talking. So you would think her name was Queen Charlotte. So it's okay. It's okay. Simone says, that they need to discuss her place in the group. Quad says that she should have that she could have done some things differently. That's the first time I've actually heard her say that. Yeah. That is the first time I've actually heard Quad say, I could have done some things differently.
That's the first time she said it.
That could have been the first time she said it. But I mean, it was so out there and so isolated. I'm like, damn, I've never heard her say I could have done something different. And I feel like since it was so foreign coming out of Quad's mouth, it didn't really register with them. I don't think. I think it just went on past their head because I was like, dang, she actually took a little bit of accountability. Quad also says right after but she didn't feel like it was a safe space. Simone says, Quad, please, you can't be acting like a victim. Quad says she simply wanted more support, and Simone says, okay, so what has changed now? A group of women that you don't feel safe around, don't feel supported by, why do you continue hanging around them? Quad says she doesn't have an emotional attachment with the girls, but she's not dealing with nothing, so she's willing to, start and work on their friendship. And that didn't sit right with Heavenly. Now, I don't know what the hell Heavenly was drinking because she always got something in her mug. But baby, she done pulled everybody under the bus and rolled over their ass, okay? Because she, I don't know what it was, but she says that after Phaedra told Quad she wasn't bringing her on the trip, that Quad called her, and now she feels used. Heavenly said that Phaedra did, in fact, change her flight and did not want to ride with Quad. Quad said she didn't know her and Phaedra had an issue and that Miss Parks needs to park it. And because how did you really get on the show? Which I didn't really get that part because did she help her get on the show or did Heavenly help her get on the show?
Heavenly said nobody helped Phaedra get on the show, so she did it on her, basically on her own. Like she was pretty much like when she expressed interest and said she was dating a doctor randomly at BravoCon, I guess last year, whenever that was, she was pretty much like a shoe-in for the producer.
Let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all not seen Marriage Boot Camp? The Celebrity Edition. And you seen she was on there with that dude from Half and Half Nots.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. He's a doctor.
Oh, is he?
He's a doctor. He's a doctor turned actor. But he's like a doctor.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
But I don't know what type of doctor he is. It's not like a surgeon or nothing. Not taking nothing away. I'm just saying he's like a doctor of some sort. Because I know I looked and saw was it him? But he was like, I'm a doctor in general. But I'm not practicing. He's an actor.
And she said this man, I think, was Nigerian or
yes, a different guy. So I mean, she's had men. That's what I'm trying to point. I don't know if they was necessarily doctors outside of him, but I did look at that particular guy because I know there was something going on with him and Claudia and stuff like that. Before we go into the end, the pretty much end, I want to thank you guys again for tuning in with us. Like and subscribe, honey. And make sure that you are following on with us for the other shows to come. After this, it's going to be Salt Lake City with Cortez and
Shanti,
the
Shantae,
core,
and Chad.
the core two. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. I am so sorry. I'm just kidding, you guys. But yes, I'm gonna get someone to put the link in the in the chat and call in and let us know if you have any side, Sammy. So if you have any side points of view that you want to say in your square. Okay. But before I go to that last scene, does anybody have anything to say about that scene? With Quad saying she don't have his support, Quad saying that Simone saying you're a victim, heavily kind of starting to drop these bombs about the Phaedra thing because we haven't gotten that far into the end. But what you guys got to say, Dream?
I feel like Heavenly could have gotten her point across without throwing everybody underneath the bus. I hate when she does that. When she's trying to prove her point, she has to bring everybody else in it, except for instead of just staying on her core point of view. I do feel like Quad took accountability, or I'm not going to say full accountability as far as going into detail, but she did say that she can do some things differently. And that's a step right there. I wasn't expecting her to say that, especially knowing that Toya just shaded her, and didn't get her a hotel room, knowing all these things are happening beforehand. I do know that there's a live that happened and Heavenly's telling everything that really happened, quote unquote. But I don't want to go off of that. I want to go strictly off of the show and what production is showing us, just to let the people in the chat know. Because it can messy some things up for the reunion when we get there. But I feel like they weren't listening to Quad when Quad said that she felt like she wasn't in a safe space. And I feel like that sometimes happens with your friends. If you don't feel comfortable enough to express yourself, you're not going to. You probably are going to kind of pull back a little bit. So I felt like in that moment, they weren't expecting her to take accountability, and I feel like it glossed over their ears. But I felt like this could have been a moment. It just didn't land the way I felt like it should have landed.
Antonio.
I agree with that, Dream, especially the last part about it not landing. I think in regards to first the live and heavily saying, oh, production said blah blah blah. Production's job is to produce. So just because they said it doesn't mean that it is 100% accurate or that it even happened in the way that they said it happened. That's A. But even outside of that, we seen Quad. I think the first step was her starting to take some accountability. I like the way her and Simone's interaction was going. I felt like Simone probably could have got further with that had Heavenly and with her had Heavenly not jumped in the way that she did. I wish that after Quad said, I know, taking her accountability, they would have expounded off of that and said, okay, so what is it that you could have handled differently? Or how could you have handled these things differently? And really talk through that situation and show this sisterhood and, of what it is that they've been talking about. Because I'm the same, and I'm sure everybody up here is the same. You can talk to me, we can have a conversation, but you're not going to talk at me. You're not going to try to son me. You're not going to try to act like I'm your kid, because then we are going to get the screaming and we're going to be going back and forth. That's just what it is. And I felt like with Heavenly getting involved, that's what ended up happening in reference to that conversation that did start out pretty good and seemed like they could have really made some leeway, and really made it far in trying to get Quad to understand where it is that they're coming from, so they know for sure where they are, at this point in their relationship.
I agree with that, Fran. I agree with that. What I will say is they're all too old to be acting like this. So, somebody doesn't call me for weeks, babe, don't call me. It's okay. Yeah. Don't call me for weeks. We're some of us aren't 40 yet, but some of us are close. And I'm too old to be worried about hey, but you still look good though, boy. You look good. No, but I mean, I just feel like at this age, like all this back and forth, like Quad, you're a grown woman. Quad is a very smart, intelligent woman. She knows. She like. I just feel like Quad is. She's playing. She's trying to play a game. She's like to me and Sammy, baby, you could come out the bag on me or whatever you want to do, honey. You can keep it cool and come out the bag. But she's been seeming desperate this whole season. And that's just my opinion. Like she wants to. It's like it's. I've been getting secondhand embarrassment. And I'm just because I have liked Quad so much. She's such a strong woman. She's a Taurus woman. She's an African woman. I feel like Quadria Webb Lunsford Webb is. I just feel like she could have bowed out with a little bit more grace, and that is just my personal opinion. And it's not because I like Toya or not. It's my whole vision of Quad. Like I'm just disappointed in how she's like forcing herself to be on these people that she has dogged out or like thought she was too good for. Whether or not you feel like it's reciprocated is neither here nor there. Quad doesn't mess with them women, and that's it. So,
one other thing, really quickly. Did we get to the point where Heavenly said she felt like Quad was using her?
Well, I'm that's the
you
last
going
one.
in there? Okay,
Yep,
okay.
yep. We have two people in the queue, and I'm going to say this last little thing, and then we're going to see what the people say and let these people on. All right. So Heavenly done told everything. She said Jackie said Quad agreed with her that Quad was using her. She said that Phaedra said that she's breaking her back to bring Quad around her, and she keeps getting disappointed by Quad's actions when she comes around. She also said that Quad said that Phaedra was a hot ass mess and a lying ass bitch. I mean, that's what I thought she said. Now she might not have said that, but I'm on my Mia Demon time. You did. You did, and that's what I heard. She also said that that Greg said that Phaedra did that Quad said that Phaedra did in fact date Gregory, and Gregory said that he had to let Phaedra go because she was asking for an upward of $4,000 a month, so he had to break up with her. Phaedra says in her confessional, "Baby, my purse costs $10,000. So what I'm gonna do it for? Period, brother." And she also asked Sweet Tea, has Greg ever told you that? And Sweet Tea said no. So, in between that, Phaedra is doing her little and looks and stuff. She's not really saying much, but her and Quad and Heavenly are going back and forth. They're talking about, being used, how that, when she found out Phaedra wasn't going to bring her on the trip, that she immediately called Heavenly. And Heavenly feels like, as soon as you not messing with me, you dump me. But when they dump you, you come back to me. So she's, she's feeling some type of way about her not saying that she has an emotional connection with nobody in this group. And I feel like it's warranted, even though I can't stand Heavenly. I do feel like this conversation is warranted, but I also feel like it's reciprocated. Like Heavenly talks bad about Quad, and she's been talking bad about Quad, and Quad does not direct any of that energy to Heavenly the way she should. And that's my opinion on that. So that is the end of that scene. We're going into next week. Oh dang, it's three callers now. But we're going into next week, and they show clips about that, and basically, they Quad is on the chopping block, and we won't be able to see if the next woman wins with her. So anybody got something to say, Antonio, then Dream, and then we'll hop into the callers.
Okay. Yeah, with the whole Quad, Heavenly saying Quad using her, maybe, but when Quad said Heavenly using her, maybe, because Heavenly has went on live multiple times and says how she want Quad to go with, Letitia, and want Quad to drag. And if they get into it, that girl ain't gonna be able to mess with Quad, and so on and so forth. Heavenly also knew that as far as the women within that group, she was the only one that kind of, I guess, had like a relationship with Quad. So it seemed like to me, if anything, y'all were using each other. Like Quad was using Heavenly to be on the show and to still, get scenes on the show. Heavenly was using Quad to come on the show and make those scenes pop with certain people. She wanted certain things to happen. In this moment, that's with Phaedra and that ugly jacket that she had on. We can see that she is still the same Phaedra. Now, what I did like is that from what I could remember, most everybody took ownership for what it is that they had said behind the other person's back, and it looks like that Phaedra and Quad had even had a conversation about what Phaedra actually said. So kudos to you, Phaedra, for that, because we kind of know you for your work, and that typically ain't how you move. But in regards to, her saying, "Oh, I bring Quad around," and she calls it goes back to the whole pamper party. Quad didn't cause no confusion at that. That was Toya that jumped up screaming and yelling and made Letitia put Quad out or whatever. So that was that. I don't get. To me, I guess Heavenly. Yeah, I guess she got upset. I don't. And my thing is this: it may not be an emotional connection there, in regards to them with them ladies, because even Heavenly said, y'all ain't been talking. Like, I can still have, but I'm not like emotionally tied to you within this group, but I still got some love for you though. Like I still love you as a person, but that's kind of where I felt Quad, was coming from in that moment. I felt like Heavenly took this and turned it into something that it didn't have to go. Like, even bringing up, oh, well, Quad told me Phaedra, Greg said that, Phaedra asked him for $4,000 a month, blah, blah, blah. That was supposed to be 20 years ago when they dated. So possibly she might have did say that. And we know Phaedra, when she first came on the Atlanta Housewives many, many years ago, 20 years ago, she wasn't carrying no $10,000 handbags. She just wasn't at that time. She had her little $1,500 Louis at the most.
Where she I don't know. She had Dwight doing her things now. She had a little change.
I ain't saying she didn't have no change.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see them $10,000 bags.
No Birkins. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but I wish that I go back. Simone would have continued to have that one-off with Quad, and Jackie was just there.
She brought Kamala, whatever the Harris, whoever her name is. She brought. That's enough, I guess, for them. Dream.
I feel like everyone took ownership of what the mess they said behind each other's back, except for Jackie. I don't know if Jackie did own up to saying that she felt like Quad was using Heavenly and they didn't show the clip. But for what we seen, she ain't say a word. She just had a shocked look on her face, like, why did Heavenly mention me?
Jackie said, "Now how I get in?"
She's like, didn't say a peep as far as we saw from what production showed us, guys. But and Heavenly did not need to mention Phaedra and Greg dating. She don't respect T. She don't respect Sweet T at all. Sweet T is sitting across from you. She literally just talked to you about how, girl, what are you doing, Heavenly? She's a capital. Like this. I can't even be mad at Heavenly because I mean, I'm not like
Sweet Tea needs to just get up and whip her ass like Chase said. Like, that's the only thing that Heavenly's gonna understand. If she gets up and just dot her right in her teeth, that's
Heavenly needs some discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah. She always talking about whooping somebody. Somebody needs to whoop her. But so she does not respect Sweet Tea to me. She not need to mention Phaedra at all as far as Dr. G goes. And Phaedra talking about her bag's 10K. What is 4K gonna do? What am I gonna do with 4K? Girl, use it like everybody else would. What do you mean? What are you gonna do with 4K? Phaedra, please. But as far as her kind of Phaedra herself kind of distancing herself from Quad, I understand, because she's providing Quad an opportunity to own up to her stuff. She had this whole theatrical event at a funeral home that Phaedra has her name connected to, and she gave you the perfect opportunity to take some type of ownership to get back into good standing with these ladies, and you keep not doing it. Well, as far as that scene,
she should know a lot about taking ownership and accountability. Yeah, right. You could write a book on
Heavenly don't respect Quad either. She's little girl in Quad, in my opinion. She treats Quad and Sweet Tea the same.
Right.
But I just feel like no one's listening to each other, and Heavenly's butthurt for no reason because she feels like Quad owes her a certain type of loyalty.
All right. Well, that is the end of the show. And it was something. So we do have 3 callers, honey. What's Cortez be saying? Y'all got 3 minutes a piece. 3, 6, 9. That's it. Y'all got 2.5. So go ahead and do that. I want to ask you guys a quick question. Do y'all see this gray hair? Or
no.
Okay. Just tell me in the chat if y'all see this gray hair. Okay, Sean.
I do have one thing to say. I understand why Quad didn't feel safe around them women. The first time she backed off from them, they knew that Greg was abusive to her, and they still was friends with him and they were still communicating with him. So why would I express myself to y'all about this, but y'all still inviting him to different things and having him over? That wasn't a safe space for Quad. And then the way Simone was so mad at her for not talking to them, I wouldn't talk to you either. If you still invite him over and have friends, but you know he beating my butt, that's crazy. I wouldn't want to be friends with y'all. And I didn't know that was a requirement to be on the show. So that's, I believe that's why Quad is acting like she is. We can fake it for the show, but we ain't gotta hang out. And I believe that Quad is not their type of fun. She likes to go out with the younger people, go travel. They have steady jobs that they have to stay at. She can go wherever she wants to go. I understand why they did what they did with Quad, even though I still like her. She pissed off the higher ups by not showing up to work, being late for 3 hours. That's money, and that's all I got to say.
Well, thank you, Sean. I do want to say that people in the chat, which I was going to say as well, they're saying that they abuse each other. They both have mug shots. They both hit each other. Is it domestic violence just for women?
Well, no, typically though, when I
He's
mean,
stronger than her.
Is he? He looks
Well,
about.
It shouldn't go both ways. It shouldn't go both ways.
but it does though. That's the thing. So if me and Dream are living together and I, abuse her and she fights back and the police get there and we
You
both
going
look
to
like
jail.
we fighting, we
Right.
both go to jail.
Right.
Regardless
That's
as to
true.
the fact that I, may have, beat her up or been stronger or hit her first, we both gonna go to jail.
That is true. I mean, they
Sorry.
both hit each other. I don't know. If you still listen to Chris Brown, I don't even care. But thank you, Sean.
Bye.
You have a good one. I appreciate
Thank
you.
you, Sean.
Big Sean, not the little one, period. All right, number 2 coming in. So hey Zeta.
Hi.
Hey,
Had a good Tuesday? Yeah.
yeah.
All right, coming in. Toya, you are a hood rat B. Okay? You were fighting by the pool wearing ball gowns season 1. All right? And then you were about to knock out Dr. Simone because she called you a raggedy broke ass. And then just last episode, Quad had her finger in your face just a little bit, because she was talking to Heavenly, and you about to break her finger.
Zeta,
Girl,
please.
you have no self-control, no
Zeta, please.
decorum, no coof.
Ooh.
Who
Zeta,
are
you
you
put
coming
your
from
finger
Quad?
right here. You put your finger, Zeta, I like you. But you put your finger right here, Zeta. Bow. Bop. Poof.
Toya, you are a doctor's wife. She is a doctor's wife. She's the one that's acting like she's all up in whatever, talking to some. I don't know if I can bring her to Napa Valley. If that's how you feel, behave like that, ma'am. Be the example of what you want people to illuminate. I don't know the words, whatever. These girls are not a safe space, like Quad said. Season 6, where she admitted that that her and Dr. G were getting into it. Y'all didn't have her back. Y'all, I understand Dr. Simone and Cecil were having their thing. Everybody went to them and were on their side, right? But y'all left Quad to figure out about herself. No, she admitted that he was cheating on her. The hands on each other came the season afterwards. And then Simone, she was not a good friend to Quad. I remember that episode. She threw them ugly heels and clear heels with the dollar bills on the table talking stuff. So Quad, fill me in. Girl, you think I want to talk to you if you talking to me like that? That's not fair. And then after that, y'all talk about Quad have a storyline. Season 8, I believe she was a friend of. Why she need a storyline? And the Toya was attacking her, talking so she has a bullish apartment. I'm trying not to curse on y'all thing. I don't think y'all allowed to curse.
I'm about to cuss. Go ahead, Zeta.
No,
I'm just playing.
but yeah. So and then
Well, hold up, Zeta. 1 minute. Who said something about Quad in her storyline?
the people on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then after that, and then season 9, when Quad came back, she had Mason. That's when she was a full-time cast member. And then she carried on. So then they also, I understand what Quad did with Toya with the robbery was not okay. She carried the rumor that Carrie started. Quad didn't start that rumor. And then as well as Toya starting repeating the rumor about Quad sleeping with her contractor, that was also Dr. Simone. All of you girls are being mean to poor Quad. And the Heavenly's not a good
I'm so sorry. You talk about a woman that brought noodles to this girl house because she was going through bankruptcy or
They
whatever.
were friends. It was a joke.
It wasn't no joke because she pulled her
Zeta, don't play
mugshot
with me
first.
like that.
She pulled her mugshot first. Now people would say, "Oh, she pulled the mugshot," Toya did, but she pulled her
Toya did.
mugshot first. No, Quad pulled Toya's mugshot first because she had a DUI. So Toya pulled hers and said that you had one too. So I mean, ain't nothing is poor about
You're right. She $1 million.
Quad, right?
Period.
But she needs to stop acting like a peasant. Okay.
She is not a peasant. I'm gonna go buy me her cookbook. I'm gonna go get me some sass since my girl is gonna be off the show. I won't be watching the show since they're doing her dirty. I don't know, but if she's not on the show, I'll watch.
Girl, come back over here, watch the show, and get on this live with us. Quit playing with us.
Zeta, before you go, I need you to bounce your hair for me one more time.
Boo.
Yeah. Body.
I'll just be putting mine in the bun, honey.
Y'all have a good night. Mwah.
Thank you, honey. You see how we just talked to Zeta and she was dead wrong, but we let her talk about it anyway. No, I'm just kidding, girl. All right. And the last caller.
Hi. Honestly, no, because I'm just like, they said it all for me. So, I mean, listen, all I'll say is I did not like the core 4 comment by Miss Simone. I thought it was whack and lame and corny. I'm just like, if you really want to get petty and technical, Quad is a part of the real core 4 because Heavenly wasn't even there before, but whatever. I just thought from that point, I was like, I can see what's happening. They're pulling a Beverly Hills Fox Force 5. It's us against them. Like, okay, fine, sure, whatever. I think that for everything that we can say about Quad, that Quad does to them, they have done at some point either to Quad or to each other. Quad treats them like coworkers. They treat Quad like a coworker as well. Like, you cannot tell me that Simone and Toya are hanging out like that outside of this show. You cannot tell me that's happening. They have a common enemy this season, and it's Quad. They don't like Quad. I don't understand. I understand why Toya has a beef with Quad, and that is absolutely 100% justified. Last season, she was insinuating that she was a thief, that we were thieves. I get it. I get that. But the rest of them, Simone has had a hard on for Quad for quite some time, and I just need for her to just go ahead and jack it off. I don't get it. I don't get why she's so upset with Miss Quad. What has Quad really done to Simone? I don't know. Heavenly, every time Heavenly opens her mouth, we hear about someone that Quad has allegedly slept with. So I don't know why Heavenly's upset. Jackie is indifferent. She can take her or leave her. Other than that, like, I really don't get it. And the last thing I'll say is this. No, there's a lot of allegedly, I don't know if the allegedly banner is up. There's a lot of allegedly with the DV stuff and the domestic violence. What I will say is that even though nothing ever went to trial, there were no charges, it doesn't make sense to me. No workplace in the world, obviously reality television is a very specific niche place, but no workplace in the world would hire back 2 people who have admitted to hurting each other and put them back into a space where they might interact with each other again. I don't think that makes sense. I've never heard of HR doing that and like saying that that's a good idea. Unless there's been some sort of something happen. But I feel like that just doesn't really happen. So I feel like that doesn't make any sense. And if Quad, and someone said in the chat, well, Quad agreed to do it. Yeah, I would too. Because if you are going to put me back in a situation where I am allegedly with someone who has abused me and his new wife, yes, pay me, pay up, pay me more. I want more money. We have talked about Quad for 6 episodes. So if that's the case, then pay me more money. If that's the case, if you want a show, like I would say, yeah, pay me more. I feel like any one of them would have done the same thing if it were their mistresses being brought on the show. If all of a sudden we're talking about Tammy, or all of a sudden we're talking about like the woman that Cecil was with. Yes, it is his wife. It is his wife. I'm not saying anything about Sweet Tea, but I'm saying that Quad has been adjacent to the mess. She has been at the center of it through production and through Heavenly being like, yeah, come on the show, come on the show. If y'all really want to do that, then pay me more. I get it. I from a business standpoint, I understand why she's just like, pay me more money. If you guys really want to talk about it, you want it, you want the fireworks, you want the explosions, you want the like the fights and the da da da. Pay me more money. I get that. For her,
Megan.
But that's it. That's it. I'm
Megan.
done. My little square.
Thank you, honey.
No,
Take
yes,
your
your
square, honey.
square.
Take her square right on out of here. No, just
Okay.
kidding.
And I
Thank
hear
you.
you.
No, just playing. Megan, I
hear
appreciate
you on the pay me more money thing, but Bravo does that all the time as far as have people who fight and they're still on the same show. This happened season 1. And almost every other show that there's been a fight, they keep the people.
Right.
Surprisingly, did they keep the husband? Yeah.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
So to me, it's not surprising that they invited him back because you think of like Portia, Kenya, you think of Mariah and Toy, like they'll bring them back.
Okay.
I'll just say last thing. I think I was talking about more so outside of reality television. Obviously, reality TV is a completely different landscape. Like they will do whatever for a show, for a check, whatever. But I was saying like more so if, this is, I think castmate to castmate, DV stuff behind the scenes a little bit different to me. But no, I get that as well. And I'll like Jazz said, I'll take myself out. Okay. All right. Okay.
Bye. Thank you, honey. Honey, that show square, you say what is on your square and you do it well, Big Meg. So thank you guys for leaning in with us today. Big Zeta, hair for days. I want to thank you. What is this? No, Zeta. Okay, sorry, Chels. Zeta, thank you so much for the $50 super check. I really appreciate you. We love you. Didn't know you was in the chat, Chels. What can we do for you?
Hey y'all, nothing. I just kind of wanted to chime in on my 2 cents to this past episode on Married to Medicine. So I'm happy to see her get her karma to her. I think the last caller, or if she's still on here, it sounds like she loves her, but I love Toya. I actually grew to like her a lot. I know in first season she did fight Mariah. I've always loved Mariah. I hope they bring Mariah back. I don't know why she doesn't come back. I really need her to take Heavenly's spot because I feel like Heavenly took her place and Heavenly looked torn up from the flow up since the first time she started the season. So I think her coming after, Sweet Tea's looks is trash. And I feel like Mariah was the only person that could match Heavenly's, shade and all her insults that she throws. And I just feel like Quad, I feel like she was behind, getting Mariah off the show. And I just think that her karma is coming to her. She shouldn't be on the show. She's not married to Madison. On there. There's no reason. I just think that she feels like she's so necessary for the show and you're not. And I'm just tired of her, like, just the way she, especially this episode when she came in. And I think the problem is the people that really like watch Married to Medicine, we know that Quad didn't come to film until like 2 months after they had been filming. So we're seeing like the energy from them. So it's like the people that are watching it that don't know, they're kind of just like, oh, they're being so mean to her. No, she hadn't been filming. She was trying to work on her contract. That's why it made sense why Heavenly was like so giddy when she walked in, like, I can't stand her laugh, but it's like, oh, he, because she finally came, like, because she hadn't been seen in 2 months. So when she comes in, she goes, Toya's like, oh, I didn't know if you were going to be here. And she's like, I'm required to be, or I was requested. Girl, nobody wants you here. Like, you're here because you got your contract, but we don't want you back next season. Like, you're not Married to Medicine, my love. You need to be gone. Go to Housewives. Go somewhere else. A lot of these people on these shows that I feel like Bravo's, casting, they're not. I'm sorry. I'm like, I talk fast, so I hope everybody's like collecting what I'm saying.
No, we're good. We just, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm not doing that, but we do have Salt Lake City that is at 8:20. I'm so sorry, Chills. But honey, I agree with you. You was talking your stuff, stand on it. Thank you guys for leaning in with us. You got Salt Lake City next. Beverly Hills, Miami, and then Bell Collective on Monday. Then you'll see me again on Potomac. So thank you so much for leaning in. If y'all, thank you guys for calling in. Big Zeta, thank you so much for the $50. I do need about $15 of it. So hopefully It's live. But no, thank you guys, and see you in Salt Lake City.
Peace.